This Is Not a Theatre Company is about taking theatre out of the proscenium, out of this seated audience actor, and actually bringing it to the audience, interactions with the audience, performing plays in pools, in random order, in dining rooms, and also on stages.
We began with a dinner party, a site-specific audio play, and a play in a pool, so we needed a name. It is a theater company, but it's also not a theater company, and there's a lot of dance, and there's a lot of singing.
The title encapsulates the fact that we don't do what most traditional theater companies do. There is a more intimate experience. We primarily work in non-traditional theater spaces and work collaboratively on our pieces.
We're using a structure based on rasa. It means flavor, emotion, essence. It is the emotional essence of a play. What constitutes an idea for me is I can't stop thinking about it, and I can't stop myself from doing it. And that's when I know I have to do a play.
While there are elements of devised process in this, we arrive on the first day of a rehearsal with a loose script.
We bring in some structure, we tear it apart, we play with it. We create some stuff, we take it out, we restructure it, we bring it back.
The two biggest things I have to think about, in addition to, of course, everything a stage manager has to think about, is how the audience is going to interact with the work and how the site itself is going to interact with the work. We worked on a show, Versailles, where an audience would move through a home, experiencing the show in different rooms. Part of my process, aside from the regular assembling props, laying them out, getting the actors in the right space, is calling cues based on how the audience is moving throughout the house, managing the timing so that it works out to the same art every time.
Most shows that you do, you're cast for a particular role, but with This Is Not a Theatre Company, you're cast for the show, and you work out what different roles you'll play.
As an actor in immersive work, there is always feedback. Every single moment is feedback from your audience, and it can be really positive engagement, and it can also be an audience member challenging you or challenging your character's point of view. I've had to really work on how to interact with people who have different responses, or maybe people who shut off completely when you're talking to them and you're an actor and they're not really sure how to respond. It's so exciting because every single moment is different.
There is always a social consciousness that is very keen. Pool play is very whimsical and fun, but it is at the core about the American relationship to water, and it covers everything from segregation to pollution to imagining a world where we have no more water.
It's acknowledging what there is in the world. There's this myriad of different perspectives, of contexts, of lives. They're all so valuable and all so important, and we must listen to each other if we're ever to come together and move forward.
Whether or not you feel like you're interested in politics specifically, you can't avoid it in our current world. Simply the act of people getting together in a space to make art is inherently political.
I think it's important because it invites critical thinking from audience members.
It definitely asks the audience to create community in their enjoyment of the theater. It's a very flexible sort of art making when things are happening real world during the run of the show. It's well suited to respond to the world that the audience lived in that day.